Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kelly, and in today's video, we are doing another pick a card reading. Today, we're asking Spirit all about how are they currently feeling about you. All of my pick a card readings are timeless, so whenever you come upon this video, a message will be ready for you. Before we begin, please give me a big like down below and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card tarot readings just like this one. If you're new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. These are the 4 piles that you can choose from. This is pile 1 with a red agate. This is pile 2 with a blue agate. This is pile 3 with a white quartz. And this is pile 4 with an amethyst. I'll give you some time to start meditating on the cards and choose the pile that you feel the most drawn to. Please use your intuition when choosing your pile, and if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch multiple piles. There may be more than one message in this video for you today. After you're done deciding, scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment and click on the timestamp to skip to your reading. Tarot is an intuitive and insightful way to read the current energies surrounding a situation. If you ever hear something you do not like in a reading, please do not give up or get discouraged. Remember that you have 100% free will over your life and you can change the course of direction at any time. My intention with these readings is to help gently guide you to a better path for your mind, heart, and soul. So never get discouraged about what you may hear because it may end up being the activation you need to change course. With that being said, I'll give you some time to start meditating on the cards. You can close your eyes and hover your hand over the screen to see if you feel any sensations on a certain pile, or you can simply meditate on the cards and choose a pile based off of your gut feeling. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the red agate heart, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards first. Strength, the Devil, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the Moon. Okay, so I could tell that this connection has been very deep, full of ups and downs, but this person feels very, very connected to you because we have a lot of major arcana here. Half of the spread here is major arcana. We have Strength, which is related to Leo, the Devil, which is related to Capricorn, and then the Moon here, which is actually related to Pisces and Tarot. With those being said, those are very strong energies, very loyal energies. I feel like this person feels very loyal and connected to you, but you guys have gone through something that has maybe disturb the peace of the relationship with the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Swords here. But before we do a deep dive into the tarot, let's go ahead and talk about the red agate and why you may have been drawn to the red agate. The red agate is actually a stone that is connected to our root chakra and our heart chakra. This is giving me the energy of this relationship, this connection, really stabilizing your emotions. You guys help each other stabilize each other's emotions, but at the same time, this relationship also is prone to destabilizing each other's emotions. The red agate stone is actually good for stabilizing emotions as well. This crystal is really showing me that the connection between you is very real and powerful. However, because it's so real and powerful, it could be frightening to be in a relationship like this. They feel very safe when they're around you, grounded, and also emotionally tied and tethered to you. You're somebody, when you guys are on your good terms, you really calm their nervous system and they feel like they can really rely on you. When you guys are in a bad place, they feel very uneasy and needing of rest. That's definitely what I'm seeing there just for the red agate. But let's go ahead and now move on to the tarot portion of the story. When we start off with strength, I really do see that you give them strength. How they're currently feeling about you is they're trying to regain their strength. If you're currently in no contact, the strength card is, again, Leo energy, and this is fiery energy. And of course, the strength card talks about strength, courage, persuasion, influence, compassion, passion, and tension. I'm sensing that they are very passionate about you and your relationship. However, again, when there's tension in the relationship, a little bit of their strength in daily life just feels like it's out the window. You are literally their rock which is something that they're actually going to need to work on. And if this is resonating in the other way for you, like if you feel like this person is your strength and when they're gone, you feel like you're losing strength, then this is an encouragement for you to actually focus more on yourself and having that strength with or without this person. Because the truth is, even if we want to rely on people, even if we want to be connected with people, it is best if we have our own internal strength that is not affected by anything on the outside. Not saying that you can't have bad days, but if you have that internal strength, you're going to be able to get through things a lot easier. Have you ever heard a story or met a person where you're hearing their life story and you're like, I don't even know how you're functioning right now? You're like a superhuman. I surely have met people that way, and I just get inspired by them, to be honest, because I know that they had to do a lot of internal work to get to that level of strength. First things foremost, with that strength card coming up first, I do think that you provide them a lot of strength in their life, and when you guys break apart, a lot of that strength feels like it's out the window for them. Even if they're naturally very strong people, even if they usually don't ever fumble or show their insecurities, I feel like a lot of their weakness comes from the relationship with you. Obviously, that means that they are very emotionally drawn to you. They are honestly in this place of trying to control how much they show. So this person being a regularly strong person doesn't want to show their weaknesses, especially when you guys aren't talking or no longer in contact. So they're really trying to put that under control, hide that part of them. Right here with a strength is really showing me that they're very attracted to you. However, they're trying to restrain and refrain from showing you how much they actually are attracted to you, how much they actually feel like they need you. So there's a really strong feeling here of a desire, admiration, and even warmth, because Leo is a very warm sign and they do actually desire admiration from other people. So I'm trying to put that in the context of this reading of how they're currently feeling about you. So they have a lot of desire, admiration, and warmth towards you, or you may feel that way about them. However, again, because of the no contact or the friction that you guys are having, they're really trying to not be overwhelmed by how much they want you. This is also giving me the energy of they want you so bad and they feel like they need you so much, but they don't trust themselves in being able to contain that feeling while they're around you. So let's go ahead and move now on to the devil. This is earth energy and specifically related to Capricorn. And so the devil typically talks about more of, I guess you can say, negative things. So it's the shadow self, it's attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, enslavement, and temptation. So you may be really tempting to this person. They probably want to reach out to you earlier than they're actually ready to reach out. You may bring the shadow sides of each other out or highlight it. As you can see in the imagery here, they are tethered by the neck to the devil, and this typically just means the level of attachment and addiction that you might have towards each other is very intense. This may be one of the most intense relationships that you've ever been in because of all the themes of what the devil is talking about. I could go as far as to say that they are obsessed with you, very tempted by you, and emotionally hooked on your presence. So the devil card coming up really shows me all of those levels of attachment, desire, fixation on you, and even emotional dependency patterns. Like how when you're in their life, they feel very strong, confident, magnetic, and then if you guys have a no contact period or if they go away, you go away, that dependency pattern starts to show, and they try to hide it as much as they can, but I'm sensing that it's very difficult for them to hide those feelings because they're so intense. With the devil card coming up as well, it also shows me that they think about you a lot. They ponder about your relationship, they think about if it's a good time to reach out, and they feel very pulled to you, even if that feeling scares them. So for some of your relationships, it could be a toxic cycle of that feeling, but for others, it's just the simple fact of a really magnetic, intense relationship. So you're really gonna have to see for your own self what resonates the most for you in your particular relationship. However, let's go ahead and move on to the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo energy, and this is talking about doing repetitive tasks. This is apprenticeship, this is mastery, this is skill development. So I'm sensing that they are refining themselves when they are apart from you. And again, we're taking all these tarot cards in analysis of the title of the video, which is how are they currently feeling about you? So instead of taking it as its regular meaning, which is usually talking about skill development or work, we're going to talk about it in relationship terms. So I feel like you both have been working on this relationship mutually. You both really want to better the relationship. And you guys potentially have cycled through some type of fight that has happened already with that Devil card coming before this Eight of Pentacles. So it feels like just doing it again and doing the same type of fight or the same subject of the fight again. However, they're trying to refine themselves. The reason why she is just drawing the same thing again and again and again, maybe slightly changing the colors, is because she's trying to make the perfect star, trying to make the better star painting, and I'm just referring to the exact image on the tarot card, but it could be anything. So whatever it is in your relationship that comes up again and again, I sense that this person is really trying to hear you out, listen to what you have told them, and see what type of changes that they can make in their life to I just heard appease the situation, because I feel like they do want to rectify and appease the situation, and it's just starting to feel repetitive because it seems like this fight has gone on more than once. So the subject of the fight has gone on more than once. So they really need rest and relaxation at this point, because the Four of Swords is next, and the Four of Swords does talk about rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, recuperation. Jupiter in Libra energy with the Four of Swords. So what that is actually telling me is they are trying to figure out what to do about their feelings, and right now they're taking a break from acting on their feelings. So whatever it was that broke you guys apart, they're actively thinking about and working on a way to communicate with you. They're going through the things that you guys have conversed about before having the break. So obviously I feel like you were very clear with them about your feelings of the situation, and at the time when the emotions were heightened, maybe they were just arguing back with you and not really hearing you out. But now that you guys have some space and time apart with that Four of Swords, they're really resting and relaxing and thinking about the situation, contemplating about the situation. They also need to recoup from the emotional turmoil of the relationship, because I'm seeing that it could have been a really heightened argument, fight, or disagreement that went on between you two. They really need that time to process right now. Their emotions are not light towards you. They're very intense towards you. So they're really retreating and thinking about this, recalibrating their emotions, the thought processes, and this is a really big time for them. This is a time of emotional recovery for them so they can move forward with you. This is not disinterest. I don't see disinterest in this pile. I see that they're very intensely feeling about you, actually. So they just need that time to rest and relax. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the Five of Swords now. This is what I think is the cause of your separation, or why you guys are currently not talking, or why you're inquiring about how they currently feel about you. So if you're inquiring about how they are currently feeling about you, that means that they are not communicating with you, or you're unsure about their feelings. So the reason here is because of conflict. You had some type of disagreement. There could have been even competition, defeat, or a winning at all cost energy in this relationship, because those are all the things that the Five of Swords is talking about. And this is actually talking about Venus in Aquarius energy. So this is a bit of a strategic energy here. Venus is supposed to be the sign of love, luxury, abundance, beauty. And when it's in Aquarius, that is a more detached, strategic, intelligent sign. So what I'm sensing is actually, I feel that there is a lot of hurts on both ends in this relationship and in this particular argument. It's a lot of up and downs, and they're just trying to recalibrate before coming back. There is fears as well of not doing the right thing or not making the right move. They're really feeling conflicted and defensive, actually, with this Five of Swords coming up. It could be very fresh. The fight could have been very fresh. The conflict could have been very fresh. So they're just taking that step back, trying to reevaluate the situation and analyze their part of the situation, and also analyze everything that you said in the situation as well, and trying to come to like a middle point so that you guys can have a better relationship going forward. Last but not least, we are moving on to the Moon, which is the last card in the tarot story. This is connected to Pisces energy and water energy, very emotional energy here. So the Moon is actually talking about illusion, fear, anxiety, subconscious, intuition, dreams, and crisis. So this situation that you guys have went through might have even felt like a crisis to them. They are full of anxiety. The word anxiety is really coming up in my mind right now. So they have a lot of anxiety about how the situation is going to go forward from this point, because this may have been either the biggest fight you've ever had, or you guys have been cycling on this subject multiple times. So they just want a different result. 4-4 on the clock as I say that. So I'm sensing that genuinely they're just trying to find their own internal center, their own internal guidance point before moving forward, because they don't want to cycle again. It's just been a lot. And what I sense with the moon coming up is that they actually don't even fully understand their feelings about you yet. They may be flip-flopping between feeling really great about you, feeling really warm about you, but also feeling very anxious and fearful about the connection. There's a lot of emotions here in this particular pile. There's fear, there's desire, there's fantasy, there's emotional uncertainty, and it's all mixing together. So they really need that rest and relaxation right now. See, as this person is on a hammock, so they may really need even like a full moon cycle. Like that is a whole entire month, 28 days typically for the moon cycle to go through a whole cycle. Maybe you guys haven't talked in weeks. It could be nearly a month or even more than a month. They really just need that time to rest and relax because their mind is really taking over at this point. All right, so that is the tarot portion of the story. Let's go ahead and move forward. We got this as the heart-shaped oracle, and we have a number 8 here. 8 is a very karmic number. Karma can be good too. We have the yin yang, so I feel like they're really just trying to balance at this time and try to find the root of the issue as well. Okay, see if I can see anything else. I feel like they just want happiness again. They just want to be connected again, but they just need to, again, get to the root of the thing and actually understand why this fight keeps repeating before moving forward. And we see hearts here as well. So I feel like their love is only growing for you actually every time you guys have a conflict, because I feel like when you guys do conflict and then you get back together to talk again, that you guys come up with new things, new revelations to make the relationship better, okay? Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Perfect. Okay, so what that is showing me is I feel like if they were really scared, honestly, that they may never get to talk to you again, or this may be that final fight and they think that you guys would break up for real, they were really scared and fearful and anxious about that. And I feel like connecting with you again feels like manifesting a miracle to them, because whatever fight this was, honestly, I'm getting like really heavy energy in my throat. So it's almost like they don't know how to speak or talk about the situation, because it has been like, you probably said some honestly nasty things to each other, because the 5 of Swords, as you can see, this person has 2 swords, but they're not necessarily, 3 swords, excuse me. They're not necessarily seeming like they're feeling happy about it. They're looking over their shoulders, still suspicious about the situation. And these 2 people are just looking away. Like they are not feeling very great about the situation either. And that is showing me that you might have went a little too far. Both of you might have went a little bit too far in your communication during that disagreement, during that conflict. So with that being said, continue to go on your path. Okay, I always talk about this in my videos because I do a lot of relationship readings. Okay, I understand that you're on this reading, you're trying to get a little bit of insight of what they're thinking. However, after this or during this, can you tidy up your space at the same time as listening to me? I know the cards are pretty. You don't have to look at the video the entire time. You can look over at the video and you can do a little bit of your work. You can look at the video, you can do a little of your work. I really encourage you to tidy up your space while you're watching these videos. And I know sometimes we feel so down, so out because of the situations that we deal with in life that we don't feel like we have any energy to move, but it's really just that getting in motion. Okay, so put on your favorite music. You have your music in the back and my video on, and then you start just tidying up a small space. Or another thing that I actually implore in my life is, I know there's certain chores that are going to take more energy out of me that I don't really like to do, but of course I have to do them. And then there's some chores that I don't really mind doing it. I'm just being lazy at that point. So those chores that you don't really mind to do, start there. You don't have to do the hardest chore first. You just do whatever you can do. And you can also listen to your tarot readings or your other videos, or you can watch your little show in the background. If you're not feeling like doing a lot of hard work, that's fine too. But I do recommend really pouring into yourself in your life and tidying up your space while you are waiting for the situation to resolve, because just waiting, thinking about them constantly is actually sending them energy, and it might push them away more because they're in a phase where they don't really know how to move forward. So instead of putting all your energy towards them and thinking about them and the relationship, try to put it back into yourself in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. All right, first quarter moon in Virgo, assess the situation. So I sense that that actually is you and them really needing some time to assess the situation that went on, because we did again get the Five of Swords. So this is talking about that conflict, that disagreement. So there is something on some level that you guys did not agree. And with this card coming up, it's really Spirit telling you again, they're really trying to get their feelings organized. They feel a lot about you. And the Virgo energy here is an analytical energy. It is ruled over by Mercury. Mercury really likes being in Virgo. So this is really mental energy here. They are probably thinking about this again and again, like, what is this situation? How is this relationship going to look in the future? What do I do with this situation, etc.? Things like that. So they're really analyzing those emotions that they have towards you instead of avoiding them, but they need that time and space to analyze those things. So they're quietly checking whether this connection is viable, whether it's healthy, and whether it is worth pursuing. So this is, again, not avoidance of the situation. It's really careful consideration of the situation. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Transformation, a butterfly, that's so beautiful. So I feel like that's what I was saying. Like, you guys go through cycles, but every time that you guys get back together, it actually is not just for nothing. Like, you guys actually both did think about the situation and you come up with some really good insights when you come back together. Honestly, quite frankly, with this butterfly coming up, I can really sense that you are changing them as a person. The relationship that you guys have is honestly changing the both of you, transforming the both of you. This connection is triggering a personal transformation on both of your sides. I sense that they really feel that knowing you, just knowing you, being in your presence, is shifting who they are becoming. You have changed the trajectory of their life. They may have wanted completely different things before meeting you and after meeting you. So just a basic example is maybe they never wanted to have a family, never wanted kids of their own, but after meeting you and being in a connection with you, that is something that is actually changing for them. They can see that now. So this is really showing me that they may even feel that meeting you was fated or a part of their destiny. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Okay, wise woman of the grove, Grace. So 49 here, 4 plus 9 is 13, is 4, and 13 is a feminine number as well. So with this coming up, this is really showing me actually that they really need grace in this time. They really need patience in this time. And they're also giving you grace. So if you guys had a conflict or a disagreement and it got pretty heated, they're trying to give you grace in that moment. They know that you didn't mean it. They know that you weren't being yourself, and they're really feeling soft and respectful towards you. They just need that time and space to rest, relax, contemplate, and just meditate on the situation. And also at the same time, they don't want to rush you. They don't want to push you to fixing this or even mishandling the situation by going too fast. So they really want to approach you gently with a lot of emotional maturity backing it up. They really see you and this relationship as something that is precious, not disposable. Even if they are very, very silent at this time, it can kind of feel like they are putting you on the back burner, but the truth is they just need some time. They're not trying to dispose you or throw away the relationship and everything that you guys have worked on. They just need a moment in time. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We're getting Chart Iglo, and that is a divination card, and it says 61 there, which is the number 7. 7 is actually a really spiritual number, all about knowledge and gaining wisdom. So like if you are a life path 7, or if you're born on the 7th, you really like gaining knowledge on whatever particular subjects you like. Not saying that you're a researcher in all different subjects, but if you are a life path 7, you probably want to know a lot of things. You're very curious. So with that being said, the divination card coming up is really showing me that they feel like this connection really does have a future. They may be even watching pick a card videos or doing divination of their own, if they're into that type of thing, to figure out more about this connection, or just simply meditating and trying to get that wisdom from within. So this is showing me there's a really big destiny weaving in this particular relationship. I feel like they sense something very meaningful about the relationship is present, even if they can't logically explain it. And we're talking about logic because we have Virgo here. Virgo is a very logical sign, and usually they don't lean heavily on their intuition. But for this particular relationship, they feel like they can't explain the ways that they feel about you, but they just have to trust their own intuition. So you really feel like somebody that could be very important in their overall life story. They could see a very bright, big future with you. So all in all, pile number 1, I really see that this person that you're inquiring about feels very strongly about you. They are deeply attracted to you. They are even addicted or emotionally hooked on you. However, at this time, because of the conflict or disagreement that you have went through, they really need to take their time to understand what this connection really represents in their life, how to fix the connection and better the connection, because that's what they want. So they definitely see potential here, and it actually scares them. It puts a lot of fear and anxiety into them because it feels like nothing that they've ever experienced before. All in all, I don't see that this person is very casual about you. They have a very serious, intense emotion about you, towards you, and you have really activated a lot of different feelings here. You have activated desire in their life, fear, hope, and even transformation. So they're really just at this time quietly working through how to approach something that feels that intense, because it's very risky for them. They want to put their all in, but I mean, what if they don't get the love and harmony that they're looking for? So that's what they're trying to work through at this time. I'm really sensing one of the major questions that they are having about the situation is actually, what do I do with how much I feel about this person? Okay, so pile number one, that's actually all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, give me a big like down below. Comment down below pile number one or what you resonate the most with. I love to see your comments. It's my favorite thing about the channel, so make sure you interact below. When you interact with a reading, you pull the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card readings just like this one every single week, so I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile one. Hi, pile two. If you chose the blue agate heart, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards. All right, that's the Five of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Lovers, and the King of Cups. So when this reading starts off with something like the Five of Swords and the Nine of Wands, obviously you guys have went through some type of conflict, some type of disagreement, or even a major crisis. But with that being said, you guys have all positive cards after that. So I really sense that you guys are going through a difficult situation at this time, but it will be resolved and you will have your homecoming. But before we actually dive deep into the tarot cards, let's just talk about the blue agate and why you might have been drawn to the blue agate. So the blue agate is all about communication, and it is a heart stabilizer. So I'm sensing if you've been drawn to the blue agate, they actually feel very emotionally soothed and safe with you, even when things are intense. So the first two cards, like I said, are very intense cards where there's obviously been some type of test of faith, boundaries, conflict, disagreement, competition, and all of those like difficult things. However, we get all positive cards next. So I really do sense that no matter what you guys go through it together. So the blue agate again is all about communication and a heart stabilization energy. So this crystal ends up appearing when emotions are messy, but when they can be resolved. I'm really sensing that if they could tell you how they feel about you, if we were just channeling from the blue agate only, I feel that they would say, you calm me down even when I'm feeling upset, and your energy makes me want peace. So anything that you guys go through, they want to resolve it. And this honestly is just warming my heart. Also with the Queen of Wands there and the Lovers there, I'm sensing that they have a lot of passion for you. But let's get into that in a second. Let's go ahead and start over here with the Five of Swords. So to start off, the Five of Swords is really telling me, again, conflict, disagreement, competition, defeat, and a winning at all cost energy. This is Venus in Aquarius energy. So obviously there had been something to kick this all off. And I feel like they actually are feeling very misunderstood. And I actually feel like they are feeling like something in the relationship has been a huge misunderstanding or even emotionally messy. So it could have been from your side or their side. There has just been this moment of time where they're really feeling that that was not your best light on both sides. So there could have been ego clashes, there could have been tension, even emotional defensiveness. Even though this card signals winning at all cost energy, I don't feel like they felt like they won it all because of the disagreement that you guys had. I don't think they were trying to win. I think they were just emotionally heightened, and now I feel like they are actually regretting anything that they said or did because of how they actually feel about you, which is actually very warm and loving feelings. And I do think that they wanted this to go differently. They really do wish that they could rectify this, but it may take some time. So this moves us into the Nine of Wands, which is a little bit of a difficult card as well. This is Moon in Sagittarius energy, and it talks about having resilience, courage, persistence, a test of faith, and boundaries. So although those are very positive things, like having resilience and courage, the situation in and of itself is difficult, requires resilience and persistence and that courage. So this situation that you guys went through has really tested their faith about the relationship. However, they feel like you guys can resolve these things through communication, again with that blue agate coming up, and that they feel that you guys can put healthy boundaries up on both ends and to determine what you guys really need in a relationship and have a thriving relationship from there. With the Nine of Wands, I'm sensing that they are still standing. However, they are feeling very emotionally tired by the situation that has gone on between you. And I don't sense anything about giving up completely. They have not given up on you. However, they are feeling guarded, but the door is cracked open. They're just not ready to fully open the door and come back out into the situation. This is really showing me that actually this person has been hurt before, potentially in this relationship. However, they're still staying around. So this is something to appreciate in this person because they seem very, very loyal, actually. They seem like they really want to fix things, but they need the time and the energy to do so. So this isn't somebody that wants to fix something that happens the same day. They want to give it a couple days, a week, or even a couple of weeks before going forward. And then, so that actually moves us to the Four of Wands, which is Venus in Aries energy. This is a homecoming. This is joy and harmony again, relaxation, freedom, and a celebration. So I do sense with this card coming up that you guys will be back in touch. And this is showing me that they see you as somebody that they could have a very happily ever after with. They see you as somebody that's very stable. They see you as a home. They see you as somebody to celebrate with, and they could also be saying something and thinking this is a real connection here. Despite whatever conflict or disagreement you might have had in the beginning that caused exhaustion on both of your ends, they still feel like you bring more joy and belonging into their life than anything that might have happened between you two. So with this card coming up, I'm really sensing that if you give it enough time for both of you to clear your minds, you guys will be coming back together and you'll be stronger than ever before. So let's go ahead and move on to the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a fiery queen. She is represented by Pisces and Aries energy, actually. And the Queen of Wands talks about courage, confidence, independence. She's a social butterfly and very determined. So this is how I actually think that they see you. They're feeling like you are one of the most courageous ladies that they have ever met. You bring a lot of confidence into your own life and into their life. They see you as somebody that is very independent and can run your own life with or without them. So they're on the edge of their seat right now because they're really sensing that since you're such a social butterfly in their eyes, somebody that's so independent and confident, that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And that's definitely how they see you. And you're even bringing that energy out of them. So I'm lighting up right now. I'm like so happy because I feel like they are proud of you. That's the energy that I'm getting from that card, that they're just proud to know somebody like you. They are very, very attracted to you. That is no question at all. You really, truly, truly light them up and you feel like somebody that is magnetic, exciting, and powerful. You're somebody that just exudes that energy out, and then people soak up that energy, not like they're taking energy from you, not energetic vampire, but in a way where because you're beaming so much that they are just generally inspired by that energy and start to radiate a little bit of that confidence on their own self, their own aura, their own light. So they really admire your presence and how you end up carrying yourself throughout life. Which leads us beautifully into the Lovers card. So the Lovers card is Gemini energy actually, and it's air energy. So this is talking about love, harmony, relationships, value alignment, choices, decision, and maturity. So actually with all those things being said, I sense that you guys are actually people that have brought a lot more maturity into their lives. They may have been just loosey-goosey going about life before meeting you and not really sure about their direction. But with you in their life, they feel like they have a lot more direction. They're trying to make positive choices in their life, positive decisions in their life, and you have even really highlighted their values to them. So for example, I made this example before, but I'm just gonna make it again. So maybe they are somebody that never really thought about having their own family or kids or anything like that, or they were scared that they weren't going to be a good parent. However, with you and you potentially valuing something like that, your values and your strength, that confidence that you have towards being a parent may rub off on them. And that's just an example. I like to make that example because I see it's a very common example, especially in this day and age. So I just like to make that example, and you can change the subject to whatever you want. It could be starting a business, it could be making a new friend, starting a new workout, literally anything. Something that you do has really made them realize that actually they value that thing too, and you just really inspire them. So you're somebody that they feel is, I just heard love of my life. I feel their emotions are very, very strong towards you, and they really feel you're the love of their life. They just feel in a pause right now because of the conflict that you guys had. I'm really sensing that they're thinking that they don't want to keep anything from you. They don't want to keep their feelings secret from you, but they just need that moment in time to actually build up the courage to be able to talk to you about these things. So with this lovers, they are feeling very deeply romantic about you as well. They're feeling a soul connection with you as if they had met you in a different life before because of how you make them feel and just how connected they feel to you. This is definitely not a casual relationship. They really see you as somebody they can genuinely see a long-term relationship with, marriage, children, all of that if you do want that. Which leads us beautifully into the King of Cups. The King of Cups showing up at the end here really does show me that they have very real feelings for you because the King of Cups has a very heightened emotional maturity. He is known to be very emotionally balanced, compassionate, and diplomatic. So he doesn't try to get involved in other people's situations. He doesn't try to judge people. He tries to support people wherever he can, and he has a very high emotional intelligence. So this is Libra and Scorpio energy. So with that being said, honestly, this relationship has brought out a lot of emotional maturity in this person. I sense that they don't just want you and want to be in a relationship with you. They want the best for you. They actually care about your well-being. They want you to do well in life, and they don't want to add any more stress into your life. They really want a calm, emotionally balanced relationship. They want to show up as well as very calm, steady, and emotionally present because I sense that that's something that they have inside their aura already. However, whatever you guys went through that really quite destabilized them here in the first two cards, they're trying to get through that. They want to step away for a second so they can have that control over their own emotions before moving forward. So let's go ahead and now move on to your oracle cards. That was it for the tarot portion of the story. So let's see. I have to cover this a little bit. So it's a girl just laying in a shallow pool of water and just resting and relaxing. So I feel like this is very symbolic. It could be your energy, it could be their energy, where you guys are just laying in a shallow pool of your own emotions because water is emotions. Water is also intuition, relationships, healing, subconscious, and connection. So they are just laying in all of those feelings about the relationship, about healing the relationship, and just the connection in general. And this is a full moon. So emotions are very heightened at this time. Okay. Surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. So I'm really sensing, obviously, whatever you guys went through, maybe you guys have talked about something that was old that came up again. And this is honestly for some of you, whatever the situation is or the topic of the disagreement that you had, I do sense that this may be the last time that you guys go through this cycle of that thing. Because I feel like with the time apart this time, you guys are really going to come together and have that heart to heart where you're able to really end that situation for good, really surrender that situation for good, and not really revisit it again and again. Also, with this card coming up, I really feel like they're trying to surrender their own fear of the relationship and the dynamic that has arisen in the relationship and disagreement, and really try to open up to their own feelings about how deep they feel about you. So they really know this connection is going to require vulnerability and communication out of them. Again, remember the blue agate is all about communication. So they're really being asked to release any old defenses or fears and really trust that loving you is not going to end badly, because I really do think they have the fear that potentially that this can go south. So they're trying to be very cautious. So let's go ahead and move forward. Full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Okay, that's a very clear indicator. I feel like this disagreement, whatever conflict you had, you guys both said things you didn't mean, or you guys both really acted in ways that you wish you could go back and change the way that you acted, change the things that you said. However, obviously you're not able to do that. You're not able to go back. So at this point, they're just trying to cool their own emotions on the side away from this connection. And I do encourage that you also try to cool your emotions and cool your head down before talking to them again and trying to rectify it, because it's not going to go anywhere if you guys are both still very, very emotionally heightened. So at this current time, how they're currently feeling about you, their feelings are actually still very, very strong about you right now. This card is really showing me passion, frustration, even longing and desire. So with this card coming up, it really shows me they are trying not to let their emotions push them into communication, push them into rash decision making, because they feel so much about you. They want to let those emotions cool down a little bit before doing something that they may regret. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Action. Okay, and this is very stormy and the ocean is going crazy. So I feel with this action card is they really want to take action towards you. They really want to do something about this relationship and talking to you. However, not while all the storms and waves are going on. I just feel the messages are repeating with these two particular oracle cards, but I'm sensing that they are about to do something because they are just bubbling up and can't really hold it anymore. But at this time, it is still very, very emotionally heightened. So this connection is not going to forever stay in a silent period or a limbo period. I feel you both are emotionally building up and the anxiety of not talking is building up. However, I do sense with this action card that action is coming, a shift is coming, and they're really feeling moved to start planning their step forward with you, planning their communication with you, but they're waiting for the right time to do that. They're waiting for the right opportunity to do that, where they're no longer feeling like they need a moment away. They're no longer feeling even illusions, because I sense that when your emotions are very, very, very heightened, there's a lot of illusions that you need to work through before moving forward, and a lot of fears as well. We're going to move on. All right, elves, playfulness, number 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is actually a very harmonious number. It is all about the home, the family, things like that. So I sense that they feel very, very homey with you. They feel very playful with you, and they want to get back to that really good relationship that you guys have had, where you guys are always joking around. You guys may even bring out the childlikeness in each other when you guys are in good place. So this is what is motivating them to move forward, because they want to have that playfulness between you guys again. They want that love, that harmony, that home feeling with you guys again. They really want things to feel light and joyful with you again, but that is going to take time, because the situation that you just went through has been very serious. Underneath all that seriousness, underneath all of those conflicts and disagreements, they actually just want to flirt with you again. They just want to laugh with you again, and they want to feel that alive feeling with you again. You truly, truly trigger and awaken their inner child in a great way. Both of you awaken each other's inner child, and you really have a good relationship on your hands. Okay, and then we're getting Lilith empowerment, number 60, which is 6 again. So really harmonious energy here. Even though Lilith is actually known for being very, very independent, and maybe her story is not super harmonious, what this is actually showing me and telling me is the reclamation of truth. So Lilith had her truth that was different than society's expectation of her, and she broke away to empower herself and find her own truth. So with that story being in mind for this particular reading, I'm sensing that they're actually being pushed to be brave about what they want. So maybe they're letting societal expectations get in their head about what a relationship should look like. Maybe you guys have a very unique relationship that's not the same as other people's relationship, so that might be affecting them. But they are working on empowering themselves and just being brave about what they truly want, which is, I sense, you and rectifying this relationship. So with this love card coming up, I really sense that they are reclaiming their truth about what they want. They don't want to hide how they feel about you anymore. They're tired of suppressing all of that emotion and desire that they have towards you. And I feel communication is truly coming towards you soon with this Lilith card coming up, because Lilith is going to do whatever the heck she wants. Okay, she has a lot of strength. She doesn't need anybody's permission. She's all about that freedom and rebellion. So maybe some people were telling this person that they need more time, but they are sensing that they're almost ready to come forward to plan the future with you and progress with you as well. So I'm really sensing that things are going to be more harmonious soon. So pile number 2, I really sense that they have really true feelings for you. They feel very emotionally connected to you, and they're starting to move towards you with action. Even if things are still tense or complicated, I feel they still want to have a little bit of communication with you to see where your head's at. So this person has been through total and complete emotional turbulence with you. I can see that in the cards. Instead of letting it break the bond completely and walking away from the connection, it made them actually realize how much you matter to them, how much they actually feel towards you, which is they feel love towards you, they feel desire towards you, and they actually feel the urge to step forward closer to you to rectify the situation rather than pull away or break up. So I'm really, really feeling that they may have gone through cycles of overthinking. They have come to the conclusion that they do want you, and they just need to build up that bravery and courage which we can see here in Aries, because Aries is very brave and courageous, as well as the Queen of Wands, to go forward towards what they want, which is you. So pile number 2, that's actually all I have for you today. If you enjoy this reading, make sure you give me a big like down below. And of course, comment down below pile number 2 or what resonated the most for you in this reading. I love to see your comments. My favorite thing about the channel. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card, tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the white quartz heart, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards. 7 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, the Tower. Okay, major change here. King of Cups, 3 of Swords. Ooh, and Death. Okay, so this is definitely an intense relationship and connection that you guys are going through because we have some intense cards here. And honestly, what I'm sensing here is it's very, very deep, emotionally intense, and potentially even karmic. But let's go ahead and first talk about the white quartz heart and why you may have been drawn to the white quartz heart. You may be feeling very, very heavy emotionally because of this connection, because of this relationship. Maybe multiple cycles of this relationship have gone on, and it is getting tiring on both ends for sure, because we have the 3 of Swords here, and something is changing majorly after this connection. Both of you are trying to find emotional balance in the situation because the King of Cups is here. Before we actually get into the tarot cards fully, let's go ahead and talk about the white quartz heart and why you may be drawn to the white quartz heart. So regardless of how much turmoil has been in this relationship, they do see you as somebody that is important in their life and the relationship is meaningful. So even if it potentially is a karmic relationship, there is a lot of meaning in karmic relationships because they're here to teach you something. They also do see you as somebody that is very pure-hearted with this white quartz. The thing is, the clear or white quartz is actually a truth amplifier. It magnifies whatever is real, whether that is love, regret, longing, even memories. So this crystal is really showing me that they can't really escape the situation. They can't really escape how they feel for you. It just gets more and more clear in time. I feel like you have even emotionally imprinted on them because of the intensity of this relationship. But that is just the white quartz portion of the video. Let's go ahead and now move on to the tarot portion of the video. We start off with the 7 of Swords, which is Moon in Aquarius energy. So this is quite strategic energy. This is talking about acting strategically, getting away with something, betrayal, and deception. I'm sensing that actually with this particular card coming up for this reading, how they are currently feeling about you is they're hiding their true feelings about you. They're being very strategic about what they show you and what they don't show you. They may even try to play it off as they don't have as much feelings for you as they actually do. So they're not actually being honest here with their feelings, maybe not even being honest with themselves. They really do care about you and how much you matter in their life, but they're not showing that at this time. There is an avoidance here. There is secrecy and even emotional self-deception here. This could be somebody that really just doesn't want to show their feelings at all. They don't have their heart on their sleeve. They really actually, I said that because I see this girl has a very like tight sleeve, hidden black turtleneck. So she's really trying to hide. She's even covering one eye. So she is looking this way because she is hiding something. And this person really seems to be hiding something. And because we're talking about feelings in this video, I'm sensing that it is their feelings that they're hiding. So let's go ahead and move on to the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles is talking about Mercury and Taurus energy. So actually quite a financially minded type of card. And this card does talk about financial loss, lack mindset, isolation, worry, and even poverty. So this person is probably really, really isolating themselves, and they may even have a lack mindset when it comes to relationships, meaning that I'm not going to be able to keep this relationship anyway. This relationship is probably a waste of time, things like that. The lack type of mindset when it comes to relationships. So when that comes up in a relationship reading, I'm sensing that they actually feel really left out. They feel quite lonely or even emotionally abandoned because of the situation that has happened between you guys. I do sense with this card coming up that they are feeling really down bad and they really do miss you. They feel like something really important in their life was lost. There is grief here, even if they will never admit this. So they have their cards really close to their chest, and I'm feeling a heaviness in my chest that I wasn't feeling for the other piles. So I'm sensing that they're going through a lot of grief and hurt at this time because of the situation that has happened between you guys. Honestly, all of these cards are difficult besides the King of Cups, but let's get into that in a bit. So let's move on to the Tower here. So the Tower is Mars and fire energy, and this is talking about a sudden change, upheaval, chaos, a revelation, awakening, destruction, and even enlightenment. So whatever change happened between you guys, ooh, I just got a whole download. So maybe there's somebody that has always hid their emotions, always try to keep their emotions under wraps and try to seem like they're in control at all times. And maybe the way that their emotions come out is in a lack or poverty mindset type of way. So instead of dealing with their emotions, they just start working harder and trying to save their money and have a scarcity mindset about money. So they may be very frugal when it comes to their money as well as their feelings too. So the way that they treat money is probably the same or similar way that they treat love. So that is just a thing that I'm seeing for this particular pile here. So I think that your energy, because they see you as very pure-hearted, is slowly changing them over time. So if they do start with a poverty or lack mindset, you start giving them the energy that things are going to be okay, that you start nurturing them into an abundance mindset, into a generous mindset. So that's something that they really admire in you, actually. And potentially over time or after the ending of this conflict, this particular disagreement, they may change entirely because, again, the Tower is a difficult card, but it also does talk about revelation, awakening, and enlightenment. So it's not completely bad. However, it is tied with the upheaval. It's tied with the chaos. It's tied with the destruction. So something had to destruct, something had to be chaotic for them to come to that awakening. So maybe something really major happened in your relationship or even around your relationship that has really made them realize how they have been behaving, how much they've been holding back in terms of it could be actually money or it could be just feelings in general or even their mindset. But they're really starting to change and enlighten in a way. They just need some time. Whatever happened in the connection really shook them to their core because the Tower is that shaking energy. In this particular image here, we do have two people coming out of the Tower, which is a natural image for the Tower card. The Tower can also be depicted in other ways, like a building breaking down and stuff like that. So it could be rebuilt. So with that particular mindset, actually, some tarot cards do have the Tower as a building breaking down, right? But if the land underneath the building is still valuable, they will rebuild. For example, there's always things going on. There's wildfires, there's earthquakes, there's tornadoes, there's all these things. And sometimes the government or the people will completely abandon that land because they see that land as not worth being rebuilt on, or they see maybe more natural disasters coming towards that plot of land. 3-3-3-3 on the clock as I'm saying that. But for some pieces of land in the United States, it doesn't matter how many natural disasters happen in that vicinity, they will continue to rebuild there because the land is so valuable. So I think that download came for me just now because a new beginning is coming for you. Whether it is with this person or not, they are really trying to assess the land value, which is equivalent to the relationship value in this particular reading. So there has been a sudden change in your relationship that's really making them think about that. What happened between you has really changed them. It has broken any old emotional structures that they had or thoughts that they had about this relationship. You are not a forgettable person. You are somebody that is transforming them. Whether or not you guys end up staying together for the long term, you have transformed their life completely. You've transformed their mindset. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the King of Cups, our positive card here in the tarot. So it is talking about Libra and Scorpio energy. It is an emotionally balanced king, very kind, very compassionate, and very diplomatic, wants to get along with everyone. So that energy is in your relationship. They feel that way towards you, even if they are not very nice. I just heard, I don't play the nice guy. So they don't really play the nice guy with everybody, but towards you, they are feeling that way. They're feeling like you're deserving of that emotionally balanced, kind, compassionate, diplomatic energy that the King of Cups does represent. And with the King of Cups coming up here, it's obvious that they do love you. How they're currently feeling about you is how they've always felt about you, which is that they have a lot of love and reverence towards you. However, this is a very controlled and deep love. So they are really holding the cards close to their chest. They're feeling all those feelings very quietly. However, they're displaying them maturely. They don't want to show a lot of intensity because the relationship itself feels very intense already. So in this time apart, they're trying to put that intensity under wraps so it doesn't keep spewing out of the relationship. They do have those intense emotions though. They just aren't sure how to express it in a safe manner where it won't cause any more destruction in the relationship, because there is a lot of changes in this relationship coming forward. Let's go ahead and move forward. We have the Three of Swords. So this is showing me that their heart is obviously still hurting from the situation that has just gone on with you two. This card is Saturn in Libra energy, and Libra is a sign of relationships in the 7th house. So that is showing me that there is some major lessons in your relationship at this time. There has been emotional pain, sorrow, grief, hurt, or even a total heartbreak because of this relationship, and they're really working through that at this time. They're really trying to figure it out, because this heartbreak here, it is not healed yet, not even close. It is something that they are currently associating with you because they cared so much about you, and something has gone awry in this relationship that is really making them need to take a step back. After they take a step back, they are going to be really changing and rebirthing, because we have the Death card here. The Death card is Scorpio energy and water energy. Scorpio is all about transformation, and this card does talk about transformation as well. Endings, change, and a transition. So maybe the old version of your relationship is completely ending at this time, and you're transitioning into a new phase of your relationship, one that's going to be more happy and healthier. But that can only be the case if both people put in the effort for this relationship. You or them may have felt that this relationship had been a bit one-sided because of the way that the beginning cards came up, like somebody acting strategically. But I'm sensing that if this person changes and they want to start showing you an equal effort, that you guys can have a completely new rebirthed relationship, with it ending with the Death card. I really sense that with the Death card coming up as well, is they're going through a complete emotional rebirth because of you. This connection has really forced them to let go of some type of old version of themselves and let that version of themselves completely die, because the intense feelings that they feel for you is transforming them from the inside out. So that is actually all I have for the tarot portion of the story. Let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards. I have to block this a little bit, but there is a girl here, her heart chakra is open, and there's a lot of light in between all of these rays here, so a lot of different colors. So I feel like she's really coming towards a conclusion, and she has the white light at the forehead, which is our third eye chakra. So I'm sensing that a lot of intuition is important in this relationship, and both of your intuition is heightened at this time. All right, a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So this person is somebody that cannot really show like their love. Typically, they are somebody that they hold their emotions, their feelings close to their chest, and they're not really comfortable with talking about their feelings. But if they were able to communicate their feelings, they would just tell you that they love you, and obviously that your love fills them with light. Remember, I said that you are very pure-hearted to them. So your love over time is changing this person, whether they like it or resist it or not. They are getting slowly influenced by the purity of your heart. And this is a very beautiful message. This card is very literal. They carry a lot of love for you in their heart. This is not about nostalgia or thinking about the past or wishing about the past. This is an active emotional connection. They are literally thinking about you right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. First quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. So they like to see you in your power is what I'm getting out of that. They like to see you happy. They like to see you strong. They don't want to see you down bad, even if you guys are in a bad place. They want to see you keep moving on. They want to see you keep doing your life. They still want to see you accomplishing all the things that you wanted to accomplish in life. So with this card coming up, I really also sense on their end of this card that they want to be brave about expressing their feelings. They want to step into their power and realizing that vulnerability is a superpower. A lot of people are very scared of vulnerability, of feelings. Every single person on this planet is going to be feeling that way from time to time. So nobody is fully confident in being vulnerable all the time, expressing their feelings all the time. So that's something that we're all learning. And this person in particular has been very closed off emotionally and with their vulnerability, but they're slowly stepping into their power of showing more of that, especially to somebody they care so much about. So they're really being called to act right now, speak or even reclaim those feelings and the expression of those feelings. So you really stirred up something in this person that demands them to step into their power and be courageous. So let's go ahead and move forward. Ooh, blessings. And this is a really beautiful card. We have like a waterfall going on here, a lot of different beautiful flowers, and a bird, a little happy yellow bird. So I'm sensing that blessings are going to be coming towards your guys' relationship. You guys have went through a lot of difficult times, and difficult times or even karmic cycles in a relationship, or even if straight up this person is a karmic, doesn't mean that karma is bad. Karma is just honestly what you make of karma. So if you're both actually changing deeply, transforming, then that type of karma is a transformative type of karma. The only type of karma that I would tell you to step away from is if neither people are changing, and if you are changing, it's both of you are changing for the worse and becoming worse and worse and worse and deeper into anxiety, worry, fear, depression, and even getting nightmares. If you're transforming in that way, that is something to watch out for. Another way I could see a karmic relationship that somebody would need to walk away from is if one person keeps on rising in the connection and the other person just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse, because that is showing very clearly that is a karmic relationship, and eventually that is going to drag the person that's actually doing well down. So those are the type of relationships that I need to warn about, because I sense some of that will resonate with some of you. So make sure you're really being honest with yourself when you're analyzing these things about your relationship. But if everything else that I've been saying has been true, or both of you seem to be very changing, this person is opening up more, you're becoming a better person, you're stepping more into your power, then a lot of blessings are going to be coming your guys' way. This connection is also showing me that it was very spiritually protected with the imagery on this card. Even if this connection has hurt, even if this has gone through many different types of cycles, you still came into this person's life and they still came into your life as a blessing and a catalyst for healing, transformation, and change. And I really do sense that angels and guides are still involved in this connection and bond. And honestly, our angels, our guides don't always send us positive things. They also send us lessons. So make sure that you're really being conscious about every single thing that is going on in the relationship and how it makes you feel as the relationship progresses. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're getting Miracles Rainbow Waterfall. Number 31 here, 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 is actually a building type of energy, a hardworking energy. So I feel like some of you might think that this relationship has been hard work. And this person also feels that the relationship is hard work, because they're required, quite frankly, to change very, very deeply in this relationship. And honestly, I just heard it would be a miracle for this person to change, because I feel like all the cycles that you guys have gone through, you really feel like this person is not going to change. But however, I really do sense that whatever this last tower moment that you guys had is, they're really starting to awaken to what they've done and how much you actually mean to them. And your pure heart is really inspiring them to make that change, which is going to feel like a miracle for you, because maybe you've been asking for change for a really long time. Maybe you've been wondering if you guys are going to actually make it because of the way that they just recycle their, the lessons that happen in this relationship. So what I'm sensing with this miracle card is just wait, give it some time, because I really feel like there is going to be something positive coming out of this relationship. I sense that hope is actually returning on either one or both of your sides, and they really do believe, even if it's quite secretly, that something beautiful could still come from this after everything that you guys have gone through. Their heart is really beginning to open up again, and that is strictly because of you and your pure heart. So let's go ahead and move forward. Oh, we're getting Venus magnetized. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 is a creative number. It is also a number of change, travel, action. So I'm sensing that they have a lot of passion, action, drive towards you, and they're very magnetized towards you. They just can't, I don't really think that they can get away from you, to be honest. I feel like they are very, 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 very attracted to you. You might even be the dream girl, dream guy, and you pull on them very, very deeply. So you are emotionally, physically, and very energetically attractive to them. You did not lose your power over their heart because you guys are separated at this time. I feel like your separation actually activated more feelings into their consciousness. They're starting to realize actually how much you mean to them with you stepping away. So all in all, pile number 3, I really do see that they love you, they miss you, and they're still emotionally processing what has happened between you with these two beginning cards, obviously some type of conflict. So this person has been deeply changed and transformed by you. They potentially hid, they probably went away, they broke down or lost something, but now because of that, they are transforming because of it. Their feelings for you are not at all light. They are truly life-altering and very, very intense. You totally changed this person, and I sense that they will be reaching out pretty soon, because I don't think that they're going to be able to hold their feelings anymore. And it is going to feel like a revelation, because I sense that they have made major changes in their life with this Tower and Death card. Okay, pile number 3, that's actually all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, give me a big like down below. And comment down below, pile number 3, to claim this reading, or just tell me what you resonated with I love to see your comments. It's my favorite thing about the channel, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card, tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, Pal 3. Hi, Pal 4. If you chose the Amethyst heart, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get the tarot cards. We're getting the Two of Swords, the Chariot, ooh, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Pillar. That's special to this tarot deck, by the way, and the Tower. So obviously you guys have gone through major some type of upheaval with this Tower card coming here. And honestly, there has been a lot of heartbreak in this connection because we have the Three of Swords. But before we actually get deep into the tarot cards, let's go ahead and talk about the Amethyst heart and why you may have been drawn to the Amethyst heart for this particular reading. The Amethyst stone is actually a stone of higher love, soul bonds, and emotional truth. If we just analyze the Amethyst, I could sense that you guys have been bonded before, potentially in past lives, or have an intuition towards each other that pulls you towards each other. And with the Amethyst heart, they really do feel spiritually connected to you. This is a stone, again, of higher love, soul bonds, and emotional truth. This crystal is really saying that this connection is not just physical, it's not just emotional, it is really a soul level bond. So this is showing me that they don't just desire you physically or emotionally. They really are sensing that there's something karmic here, something very raw, emotionally charged, something even psychic or fated between you. This is not a lighthearted relationship. You guys have really been contracted to meet and potentially even have a whole life together for radical change. So that is all I have for the crystal portion of the video. Let's now get into the tarot cards. We start off strong with the Two of Swords. This is Moon in Libra energy. This is showing me that they are feeling that they have a lot of difficult decisions to make. They have a lot of weighing of options to do. They're at an impasse point and even avoiding the situation entirely because they are really emotionally stuck about you. At this time, I really feel like they're blocking their heart and their feelings because their feelings are actually way too intense for them to even deal with. I really do sense that this is a relationship that you guys have known each other in past lives before. So this may be even a relationship where you're repeating themes of your past life that you maybe weren't able to rectify in your past life. And from what I've studied and what I understand, if you have a lesson in your life that you're intending to accomplish, to learn, but you do not learn that lesson in your lifetime, your soul's going to still want that lesson. However, the next time you have to face the lesson, it's going to be more difficult. Maybe this is a person that you have gone through a lifetime together already, and you guys did not learn that. You did not learn what you're supposed to learn. So we do a reset, rebirth, into a new cycle, a new life, so you can have a new opportunity for a new relationship, new love, try to do different choices. I take this very seriously, the whole reincarnation topic, because I'm always thinking like when difficult things happen in my life, and I'm just making this example because I'm really sensing it with this particular pile, but if something really difficult happens in my life or your life, that you need to sit down for a little bit and realize the opportunity here for learning a lesson. If you don't learn your lesson, just make sure that you realize that this lesson will come up again because your soul is still going to want to learn the lesson, make the right choice. But if you don't end up making the right choice, then you can almost guarantee that you're going to be learning that lesson again in a different life and it's going to be harder. I definitely do recommend that you try to take the lesson out of whatever is happening between you two, because I do sense that this is a relationship that you guys have been together in a previous life. So the Chariot is next. The Chariot is talking about Cancer energy, water energy. This is a very emotional energy. So this is actually talking also about control, willpower, success, action, determination, victory, and a journey. This whole relationship has been a journey. However, if you took this to the soul level and took your ego out of it and took your human self out of it, you both have determination towards success of this relationship, but it's going to take a lot of control and willpower for you to get there, because this could be a very difficult lesson or just something you're not naturally good at, one or both of you. So it's going to be a difficult lesson to get through. However, it's not impossible. With the Chariot coming up, it really shows me that they want to move towards you and they want to move forward with you in this relationship. Despite any fear that they might be feeling, there's still this really strong drive. There's this really strong longing and determination towards pushing the relationship further. Just who you are, just your aura, what you represent to them in their lives is pulling them forward. However, they are not ready yet, even if that is what they want, because we do have the Eight of Cups here. They still need that time away from the situation. They are actually trying to walk away at this time. They may have been trying to emotionally detach. They may have not been talking to you. They may not have been replying to you, but it is painful for them to emotionally detach from you. It's painful for them to walk away. It's painful for them to not reply to your messages or reach out to you. But this isn't symbolizing indifference. It's symbolizing a forced distance so you guys can withdraw and really understand the situation. However, the typical meaning of the Eight of Cups is disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, and escapism. So you may feel, or they may feel, that they are trying to escape the situation. You may be feeling abandoned by this person or disappointed about how this is turning out. This is Saturn and Pisces energy here. So they really just need a moment away. In their eyes, they're feeling that there's no way to resolve this issue at this time without walking away first. They really feel like they need that time alone to soul search before coming back into the relationship. And honestly, that just moves us into the Three of Swords, which is talking about heartbreak. So their heart is completely broken about this situation, and they feel like they are not learning their lesson about this situation. But they are really trying. I really sense that they are trying to learn about this situation. Again, so the Three of Swords does talk about deeper things like heartbreak, emotional pain, sorrow, grief, and hurt. It is Saturn and Libra energy, so they're really going through delays and obstacles, burdens when it comes to your relationship. Obviously, for each and every one of you, you're going to have different types of disagreements, types of fights, but whatever it is that you guys did go through that led you to not being in contact at this time or not as connected has really been weighing heavily on their heart. But it does get a little bit better because we are moving to the Pillar next, and that is a special card in this particular tarot deck. It is not in other tarot decks. So with the Pillar here, it's really showing me that this connection has changed the way that they look at life. It has changed their emotions. It has changed their foundation entirely. They're really altered now in how they see love, how they see stability, and how they see relationships. So this bond really became something that they couldn't ignore, and they cannot easily replace this relationship. You are something different than they've ever experienced. So they may have been somebody that had a relationship before or even other type of connections before, but none of those inspired them to radically change and really dive deep into their emotions. Only this relationship has forced them to look at their emotions, look at their feelings, and really reevaluate how they enter relationships. That is actually honestly a really positive thing because this person may have never really gotten to that point without the connection with you. And then finally, we move on to the Tower. This shows me that you really shook up their entire world because the Tower is Mars and fire energy, so very fire energy here. This is talking about sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, awakening, destruction, and enlightenment. And fire energy is actually very, very spiritual energy. So this relationship in and of itself is spiritual. The lessons that you guys are going through are all spiritual. Again, I do sense that you guys are fated, that you guys have had a contract together to learn lessons in this life, potentially lessons that you have repeated in one or more lifetimes before. So that's why it feels so difficult, so destructive at times, because your souls know that you want to learn this lesson. However, it's a little bit more difficult when you add ego into it, when you add your human behaviors into it, and your mind, like your human mind into it, okay? Because obviously when we don't have a human vessel anymore, we're not trapped by the mind and the ego and such. So this is really a difficult time for them because they feel so strongly towards you, and the situation has really shook their world. So this connection has potentially broken any illusions that they may have been holding on to, or any even old emotional structures that they've been holding on to. Again, this could be somebody that really likes to hold their emotions to their chest, or really not show their emotions, or they are avoidant in general, but they are realizing that in a relationship, they can't hold those emotions close to their chest. They can't be avoidant about it. So they really just may not be okay yet, because honestly, you mattered a lot to them and you're really shaking up their world by not being in it anymore. So that is all I have for the tarot portion of the story. Let's go ahead and move forward. I'm gonna have to block the image of this card a bit, but okay. This is the image that I'm getting. Obviously, they're very connected. They have a lot of passion towards you. I definitely see that. and I feel like they really want to be connected to you again in this way and more. But I just see with this, the imagery here is like it's a very spiritual relationship. Again, look at all this purple. I did not like plan this out. There's so many purple cards. There's another purple card in the pile I chose for you guys, and purple is going to be representative of the crown chakra. I really sense that you guys intuitively know that you're meant to be connected to each other. Sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. I am going to try to make it PG here because we are on YouTube, so I can't say everything I want to say. Maybe one day I'll start a Patreon so you guys can get the full raw and unfiltered. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like something like that. So with that being said, without being too detailed here, I sense that you're one of the best that they've ever had, if not the best that they've ever had. And when you guys are intimate in that way, you guys are really feeling both like one eternal soul. And honestly, you are connected in that way. Your union in that way is going to feel very natural, uplifting, and 222 on the clock right now, and solely connecting you two. When you're connecting in that way, it's going to be something that feels very, very obvious that you're very compatible. That's all I'm going to say there. Let's go ahead and move forward. First quarter moon in Taurus, release control. I definitely do think that one or both of you are really trying to control the situation and even each other's emotions. But the thing is, release that control, because you can't force anyone into making a decision when they're not ready. And it's actually not even going to be a good decision if you guys are forcing each other into making a decision. So either you or them are really trying to stop holding on so tightly, and they are really feeling like they are losing control of either themselves or this connection. But they need to go through that. They need to go through that chaos so they can come out on the other side. I'm really sensing that they are really wanting this connection, but they are really fearing that they are going to lose themselves in the connection. They are learning how to love without clinging onto you or even running away from you. Sometimes when people feel so deeply, they just push people away or run away. Or some people, they cling so tightly and become very possessive. Either way, it's a form of control. It's either trying to control the other person or trying to control themselves. But they're working on releasing that control. Embracing. They really just want to embrace, like maybe the back of this card here. I'm really sensing that they are working on their emotions, but I think the magnetism that they have towards you is going to be bringing them closer to you again, because there's no way that they can stay away from you. Their emotions are really overflowing at this time. They're probably being very flooded with emotions and feelings that they just can't suppress anymore. This connection is magnetizing them and forcing emotional growth and vulnerability in them. So you might be getting communication soon from this person, but I wouldn't rush it. I would just focus on yourself, do things that you want to do, that make you happy, that make you feel alive without this person. Because that energy, actually, if they are as deeply connected to you as I believe that they are, and I do believe that you guys have past lives together, I do believe that you guys are connected. Some of you may even be twin flames for sure. So when you're focusing on yourself and your energy, your aura is being lifted up, heightened, bettered in any way, then actually that's even more magnetizing towards them. But if you are both feeling down and out, like really bad, not focusing on yourselves, just self-erasure energy, then that's actually going to make you guys not so magnetized towards each other. You may need more time if you guys dwell in that too long. A good example for this is, have you ever noticed people tell stories? I hear a story like this all the time, where a couple will break up and the girl is upset, so upset, pining for the guy, maybe reaching out to him a lot, calling, texting, no response. He's having the time of his life. And then after a couple of months, she finally gives up all that. She can't live that way anymore. And then she decides to finally choose herself, start to feed back into her friendships, back into her life, start working on something, whether it's her fitness or her job or literally whatever it is. All of a sudden, here he comes. And I've heard that story verbatim so much throughout my life, showing me that the energetics of it cannot be argued against. The more you pour in yourself, the more you'll see. People will want to be magnetized towards you. So I really do encourage you, ladies, to pour into yourself, okay? So expansion, spirit guardian of the summer, 37, 3 plus 7 is 1. Again, 1 is the energy of the self. I feel like expanding yourself, expanding your own life is really going to be beneficial at this time. There's no negative to feeding into yourself, expanding into yourself, because that's actually going to bring more I just heard conversation points. It's going to bring more conversation points to the relationship when you guys do get back together. I do see that you guys are going to have at least a time where you guys can talk to each other again. This is going to make your connection even more alive, more passionate if you have other things going on in your life that you could talk about when you get back together. Also, with this card coming up, I really feel like they are beginning to feel energized, aroused, or even emotionally awakened by you when they think about you. Or they may be having waves of those emotions, because obviously we got a lot of other cards on here. I'm feeling that they're going through waves of positive emotion and then potentially negative or fearful emotions, and they go back and forth between those two things. But I honestly sense when they're the most quiet, their most meditative state, they really do realize that you bring life into their life. You actually bring some color into their life. They may have been very, I just heard boring people before you. When I say boring, I just mean like their life may have been very routine or stable without you. They may have not really had anyone to challenge them or anything like that. But I do sense that you guys have a past life and a soul contract. I'm sensing that you're really adding fire into their life. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Seventh house partnerships. Hello. So number 23, 2 plus 3 is 5. Again, 5 is a number of change, and 5 is a number of even transformation. With that being said, I feel like you're transforming your partnership. You're transforming your relationship through this particular conflict that you guys have gone through recently. And this one is going to be different because this time I'm sensing that they're coming to major realizations about the relationship and really starting to even embrace the change that is happening in this relationship. Obviously, they see you as a partner, they see a partnership with you. I really sense with this card coming up that they don't just want you physically, they want you as somebody to build something real with, a long-term life with that is going to be full of a journey and transformations. You're really feeling the other half of them. They really, really want to move this forward. However, there is a sense of needing time. I really sense that this person is actually really torn between desire and fear. They really desire you, but they're scared about the connection because it's so intense and deep. But this connection, regardless of how fearful they are about it, they realize that it is very deeply spiritual, sexual, and emotional. This person is truly overwhelmed with all the feelings that they have for you. They have tried to control it, run from it, analyze it. But the truth is, I really sense that you shook up their whole life. You shook up their heart, their soul, and this is a karmic bond that has truly awakened them. Again, when I say karmic, I could mean a soul contract. I could mean twin flames, I could mean soulmate. I just really think that there's some type of karma that you're meant to work through in this life together. Honestly, this is not just a light attraction. This is not flirtation. This is a deep soul bond that is screaming, you have changed me, and I am transforming in this relationship. Pile number 4, this was so intense, but I actually really enjoyed this reading because I am an advocate of major transformation in life. I really love to see people continuously transforming and having personal growth in life. I do think that this relationship on the table is difficult and painful, but we transform through difficulties, challenges, and pain. You can get through this. You guys will be able to get through this if both people put in the effort. However, again, I mentioned earlier before, if only one person is putting in effort and getting better and the other person is just getting worse and worse and not really trying to change, that is something to be aware of. Also, if you guys are both getting worse, that is also something to just avoid or be considerate of. But if you are both radically changing and putting in effort, then this is a really positive situation coming forward. Pile number 4, that's actually all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a big like down below. And of course, comment down below pile 4 to claim this reading, or tell me what resonated in this reading for you down below. I love to see your comments. It's literally my favorite thing about the channel. When you interact with a reading, you pull the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I post a new pick a card tarot reading just like this one every single week. I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time. Bye, pile 4.